Hello, everybody. I'm back. Hope everybody's doing well. We're going to wait for a few people to come in. Hello. So, pre-retirement days, are you in the Philippines or the U.S.? What?
Hi, Josh.
Hey, I'm trying to share it out.
Share it, send it to Sheer if you can.
I don't have her name. I could not find her for the life of me.
Oh, wait a minute. I got it. Got to scan this paperwork out and fill this.
You went mute or something.
Yeah, because I had to switch to another screen.
Okay.
But here in a minute, when I get a chance, I'm going to do it during your live stream. I'm going to show you The same thing I did on Darren's live stream, but hell, I did that a long time ago. Where they filmed, what was that? Die Hard 3? With Samuel Jackson in it?
Yeah.
$26,663. Okay, I got that filled out.
So I got Bruce coming up and Darren's whacking it in the shower. But we got 4 of us so far. And Darren said he would think of me in the shower. I was like, whatever, take your time.
But I've been telling a lot of people, because all these videos on YouTube are popping up everywhere. All the job loss and people losing their jobs and people getting laid off and whatever job that they were in everywhere. I said, okay, there were 2.4 million federal workers that were put out last week. That's not including the layoffs that happened. And then here come late May, you got all those college graduates coming out of college going to be looking for work. So we got a bad crisis on our hands right now. The unemployment rate is worse than the Great Depression. We're over 25% unemployed.
Yeah.
It's going to get really sorry-assed. Big time. You know, there might be a daring few that might try trucking out, but they won't last because it's a lifestyle, and some people can't handle it.
Not a sponsor.
People are not going to be willing to stay away from family for so long like I do.
But this is a career you chose, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, I wanted to be like my father, yes, but I went to college and got a master's in economics and business and broadcasting. But it was kind of hard to find the job my dream job that I wanted. That was a tough gig to get into. And I did have a job working at Kroger for 17 years. They weren't going to promote me. It seems like a lot of people hated me. And I was like, fuck this. My education was a lot higher than most of my bosses. They're like, what are you doing down here? I'm like, I don't know. I'm asking the same question too. So I was like, I've had enough. So I decided I'm going to go into trucking business like my dad did. And I'm like, well, fuck, I should have done this from the get-go instead of wasting 17 years at Kroger.
I have a friend that works at Kroger. She's a manager. I don't know about her college stuff or anything, but
I visited some of the managers I worked for in the Kroger company, and some of them like couldn't stand. And when they saw that I was an owner-operator and I owned my own truck and everything, I said, you know what? I'm glad I did what I did, because you want to know why? I make more money than you do now. I haul multi-millions of dollars worth of equipment and shit, especially the currency paper like I did a few days ago.
Right. Did they give you a little pinch of it? Oh, here's $1 million.
Well, they were in these very heavy spools.
Yeah.
It would take more than 2 to 3, like 3 to 4 men to try to move one of these. It's like lifting a car. That's how heavy those spools were.
Well, they were on pallets, right?
No, they were just on spools, and they put them in the truck.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to keep my little bird entertained. He likes to get loud. So, yeah, so you said you have 9 hours to fuck around?
Yep. But I gotta get some sleep though. I can't go to sleep right now, but I'll eventually have to, knock off and get some sleep.
Right. And what is your usual morning type wake up? Is it coffee or is it something else? Or
Yeah, I usually get a coffee and a biscuit.
Mm. What's sad is you don't have a toilet inside your truck. You got to go to a rest stop.
Or whiz on a tree.
Well, it helps. It makes it grow. You can act like you're stalled off to the side of the road because you have a huge back.
Well, a lot of us do that. Stand on the running board on the passenger side, let it whiz in the ditch.
Yeah. So, yeah, I called Bruce and Darren. Darren was actually sleeping a little bit. I hope I didn't.
Like a bad bastard. What is he doing sleeping? He went to bed the same time I did last night.
He said, I'm sleeping in a little bit. I was like, did I wake you? Oh, no. He's sitting there doing that.
All right.
Here comes Bruce.
Yeah, you might not hear me for a minute.
That's fine.
How's it going?
Hey, y'all. How you doing?
Oh, I'm all right. How's it going? Hey, Sean.
He's silent for a minute. He's filling out paperwork.
Okay.
So you done 8 yet?
No?
Because honestly, I don't mean to keep you away from it. If you want to do something. Marion's here. You can say hey.
Hey, Marion.
Hey.
And? So, Bruce, can you check your messenger for a minute? You probably already knew about it, but just wanted to show you something on there. I think I sent it to you.
There we go. Now I'm back.
What, this thing from, what is that, Terrell Green?
No, it's I shared you with my itinerary of our flight next week.
Oh. Okay.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Yep. And I told my work, I said, I just need 1 day off. They don't know where we're going because they don't need to know that. But I told them I just need that day off because I'm going out of state just for the day. And then I told her I will be back on the clock Thursday at 11.
Yeah, because that plane ride's going to drag your ass. Believe me, it's going to wear you down. In a 24-hour period, you're going to be on a plane for at least 11 of it.
Yeah, I mean, for 1 day, to me, that's just too much for 1 day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the thing about it is you're going to have to come right back because you got to be at work the next day.
Mm-hmm.
I work right here at home. I just got to use an app on my phone.
Yeah, I would at least went there for a couple of days. I'm sure Captain Harris would have enjoyed seeing you for at least one of those days.
And you won't believe what I saw, Sean. Like, I just found a new video of him in Germany from December.
Uh-huh.
And he told me that, oh, I can't go on long distance trips like that to Comic-Cons and things. And I found another video of him, and he had escort people helping him, not women, men's, helping him on stage at this meet and greet talk questionnaire, whatever. And he had two guys help him sit down.
Uh-huh. My idea that I was thinking after we got done talking that night is if they make one more police academy, he should be the commandant and Proctor's his assistant. And then, you know, the higher ranker guys would be like, you know, the Mahoney and Bobcat and
Yeah.
Hooks if she's still around.
No, she's deceased. She passed away in 2017 of COVID. Or not COVID, something else.
They got to find another funny old lady like that one did that shot the gun. Damn, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I keep rewinding that and watch that part. But man, if I were you, and I would get with them to try to get that cane before it disappears forever.
It's in a storage container, storage place, whatever, in Houston, Texas.
And he owns the storage container?
He has access to it. I told him, I want your stick that you always held in the movies.
Yeah. It's got that round silver ball on the end of it.
Yeah, and I loved it when he went through TSA in Part 5, where Michael Winslow kept doing the boop.
Yep.
And then he ends up like, figuring, and he took his belt off, and then Proctor, being a little kiss ass that he was like, maybe it's the belt buckle, sir. Here, I'll get it. Get your hands off me, Proctor.
Yeah, you make all of them the high ranking officers. You bring in a whole new young group of people, and they have to. Shaquille O'Neal was a good idea.
Yeah,
bring him in as like maybe
Hightower's nephew.
No, I'd make him like his son or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot that we could, they even, I don't know if you remember Part 1 where Harris is asking those two guys to look into things that he met up, and they shaved their head bald.
Yeah. Do you think he could still do it, though?
I don't think he can remember his lines.
Well, he's got someone to stand there tell him his lines as they're filming it.
Right, or in his ear, something like that. They could put an earpiece on.
Because that's how they film things. They'll like line, they'll tell you the line, okay, and then shoot, boom, and they say the line.
Yeah. I think if he would be better off listening through an earpiece that nobody can see in film.
Or they can hold up big cue cards for him.
Right.
In his plane of view, wherever he's looking, somebody's in his view with big cue cards.
Yeah. But the problem is he would always be sitting or something because he's unstable to stand. Or in a wheelchair at least. I mean, if they could kind of put that in there, but
that sucks because he was a lot of comic relief in the movies.
Yeah. They pranked him as much as they could in all of them. Like Mahoney and Jones always pranked Proctor and Harris. Always. And then Zed and then Sweet Chuck and, part 5, 4 and 5 were like literally my favorites.
I bet you they had a ball filming those too.
Oh, yeah. I like the Hispanic guy that wanted to act like he was involved with Callahan, the big-breasted blonde woman.
And
he kept like he was like he was knocking on her door, thinking it was the other women that were cadets and trying to get involved to sneak into the women's dorm. Find out that Callahan's at the door, and he called her sir. He called her sir, and She's like, you've been sneaking in here every day for weeks. He's like, what? No. What do you think we should do with you? And then she rips his gown off, and he shows like toilet paper boobies and stuff, and like in a shower cap, and it was just funny. But when she yanked him into the room because she was interested in him, she's like, "What should we do with you?"
Didn't that Asian actor from Revenge of the Nerds, wasn't he in it too?
Yes,
in one of them.
Brian.
I thought so.
He was in part 3.
I could have swore I saw him, and I'm like, that's the guy that played in Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
They're pouring that Ben Gay all over their jock straps, and he's got a stick, and he goes, "It's like a salad." That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had to get my phone charged up enough so I got time enough to walk over there. But they filmed it at night, but you'll recognize the building. Bruce, are you here?
Yeah.
Bruce, you've seen the Die Hard movies?
No.
With Bruce Willis? You never saw any of those?
I think I did years ago.
It was part 3, the one that had Samuel Jackson was with him. I like the part.
I might have seen that one.
I like Bruce Willis.
In a movie theater back years ago, and when that came to an end, I just didn't. I was so tired of movies by that time. I was just kind of burnt out. But there's probably a lot of movies that I've missed.
Yeah, the funny part in that one with him and Samuel, there were a lot of funny parts in it. But the one that I thought was the funniest part in that movie was when Bruce Willis was handing him this assault rifle. It was, it was shaved down to half the size of a normal rifle. He goes, "Here." And he goes, "Oh, how do you work this?" And he looked at him like, "You don't know how it works?" And Samuel Jackson goes, "Just because you hand a brother a weapon doesn't mean he knows how to fire it, you racist motherfucker." But right here is where they filmed that part where Bruce Willis shot the power lines that don't exist and hit the sign that knocked the power line down to knock the helicopter out of the sky, and it crashed right here.
Oh.
But they shot it from over there, looking this way, not the other way, not the way. I'm in the opposite direction. But they had that sign. It was like a Canadian motel that doesn't exist because that's the fuel island to the TA. And they had fake power lines right here. And it was all right here, crashed helicopter and everything. I'm going to go over there and turn around and do it from the angle that they actually shot it. But yeah, they passed it off like they were in New York, Josh. But this is all the way down in Maryland, Jessup, Maryland. Every now and then I get to visit a place that has a famous spot in a movie somewhere. So here you go. So that's the motel it's actually the TA. Helicopter got shot down there and crashed right here. That was like at the end of part 3.
And you looked it up? How'd you know?
Oh, because I heard one of the employees telling us about it in the restaurant there. But it was a weekend, and so they closed the truck stop for a few hours just so they could film that here, because they had to put a fake sign for the motel, and then they had to put up power lines that were fake. The power lines are actually over on that side of the building over there.
Come on.
What?
No, you're not.
I can hear everything he's saying.
Oh, okay. Sean, you want to say hey to Marion?
Just because you hand a brother a weapon doesn't mean
Hey,
he knows how to
Marion.
fire it, racist motherfucker.
Sean,
Ah.
you want to say hey to Marion?
Oh, hi, Marion.
Hey. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just showing where they filmed that ending of Die Hard 3 right there.
So, do any of you guys know who Pre-Retirement Days is? He's in the chat.
Never
Here.
heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody knows him, but he kind of just found me, I
Well, he's
guess.
got a blue jacket.
Right?
You see, the power lines are on this side of the building, and there's a prison right over there. Whoops. So I'm Bobtail, and I can't go get my ice cream till later on tonight. Take it to New Jersey. Oh, wait a minute. I better put it on the charger, or my phone's going to die on me. But I can't remember Hans's brother's name that was in that movie. He did the voice for Scar in King.
Right. His real name is Jeremy Irons.
Very distinctive voice, too.
Yeah.
And the guy in the first one that was his brother Hans. He actually played the sheriff in Robin Hood, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
You said Men in Tights. You were about
Well,
to
yeah,
say-
because I like both of them. I like that they had the blind guy blinking as the lookout, and he's blind.
Dave Chappelle was in it as a Chew. I don't like Dave Chappelle, but he was in that one. And then
Yeah,
Blinken thought he was on the toilet, and he was outside or something like that. Didn't know what he was sitting on or whatever. And Carrie
yeah,
Elway, Blinken, what are you doing?
he's got a Playboy magazine that's in Braille. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was in Braille.
And then Dick Van Patten played the
King.
the king.
Or
and,
no, the bishop. I forgot. He played the bishop.
Yeah,
that married.
and he kept saying, good morrow. He kept saying good morrow. I think one of the guys in the crowd, when he was walking through there, said, "Freak!"
That was the last scene that Mel Brooks ever filmed. It was him as the rabbi. It said circumcision's half off. Oh, put a little ice on it. It'll be all right.
Circumcision's half off.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Circumcision.
Yeah, he was supposed to come out with a TV series, History of the World Part 2, which I'm like, oh, I'm all for this. Everybody's been waiting years for him to make a sequel to History of the World because that was hilarious.
Yeah. He's actually in process. Mel Brooks. He's doing Spaceballs 2.
Oh, so he is doing Spaceballs too.
Yes.
The search for more money.
But the thing is, Dick Van Patten's passed away. They can't use him. They got to dig up other people, and they've already picked Josh Gad to be one of the people in the movie.
Well, they don't have John Candy anymore to play Barf.
Right. So I guess they'll use John Goodman now. That won't work.
Barf, puke, whatever. Where's my money?
But a lot of them have passed on. The princess is still around. What's the guy that was with Barf? He's still around.
Yeah, he's still around. He played the president in Independence Day 4.
Okay. And I thought he was in the first one too.
The first one, what?
Independence Day?
Yeah, he was the president of the United States.
Right. What was his name though?
Yeah, Lone Star was his name in the movie.
Yeah, and Rick Moranis,
He played Dark Helmet still.
Yeah, he could still do it. Smoke him if you got him. Ludicrous speed. And what about the other guy? He hasn't passed either. The other guy that was next to Rick. When they were watching the same movie in a movie.
Yeah, well, Michael Winslow was in it. They gave him a small part, but he was in it. Michael Winslow was.
Right. How many assholes we got on the ship anyhow?
Yo!
Yeah.
Don't step up too quickly.
I like that. Mel Brooks is running down the hall to get to the bridge, and he's about ready to get there. President Scroob, salute! And they usually give it with their arm, like "fuck you."
Fuck you.
He's taking a piss, and the woman shows up on the wall, and he has to stop. He goes, "I told you, this is an unlisted wall."
And then the lady looks down at his Johnson.
Yeah, and then
she's like, "You want me to beam you over here, sir?" No
I'm gonna
more
walk.
beaming. No more beaming. I'll just walk.
They beamed him, and his head
ass
was
was-
on backward. Why did somebody tell me my ass was so big?
Yeah. And I like how on the Rick's ship, he's like, who are they? That's his cousin, sir. Major asshole.
Yeah.
And his nephew? He's an asshole too, sir. First class gunning major asshole, whatever. And then that's when he said, "How many assholes do we have on the ship anyhow?"
And everybody stood up and went, "Yo." Darren, you remember back in your live streams, maybe from a year or two ago, I showed you where they filmed the ending of Die Hard 3, where they knocked that helicopter out of the sky at this DA. I just did it.
I can barely remember what I had for lunch yesterday.
But see, you got the full effect because it was at nighttime, and you could recognize it a lot more.
Yeah.
But I just showed it again for Josh's live streamers.
Hey, Darren.
How you doing, Bruce?
I'm fine. How's it going?
Going great. How you doing, Josh?
I'm all right.
Excellent. Don't mind me. I'm just making lunch. I'm in my lunchtime. Josh said, "Can you join me?" He says, "After I shower." Josh said I can eat lunch, so that's good. Sean looks like he stopped.
Yeah, I'm parked at the TA in Jessup, Maryland, where they filmed the ending of Die Hard 3.
Ah,
And I showed it on your live stream. Yeah, that had to have been a couple years ago.
I remember that. It was that building you showed us. This is where at that building there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Darren.
And I told you about the part where he hands Samuel Jackson an automatic weapon, and he looks at him and goes, "Don't you know how it works?" Just because you hand a brother a weapon doesn't mean he knows how it works, you racist motherfucker. I die laughing every time I hear him say that.
Oh, that is funny. That is really funny. Oh my god. Oh, crazy. Oh, it's finally getting warmer. Spring is here. I don't know
Yeah,
what
it's
the-
72 degrees here in Maryland. I was freezing my tits off here when I was here 5 days ago.
Too much
Tits?
information.
It was only like 32 degrees.
Yeah, it's 22
Whoa.
degrees Celsius here right now.
Driver, you're going the wrong way, dude. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's going to park in that spot over there.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
75 degrees Fahrenheit. Supposed to get up to 80 today.
Yeah, but you're in the southern states. You're supposed to be warm. Just like
Well,
Josh. He's in North
It's
Carolina.
still February, though, you know? I mean,
Yeah. February 26th.
it's still February, so it's still winter. And that means we will probably have another cold snap between now and spring.
March 9th, everybody has to spring forward.
Ah, that's right.
And actually, they're saying
2
tomorrow
weeks.
it's going to be about 10 degrees cooler than today.
So we got 2 weeks then. 2 weeks from this coming Sunday. Cool.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Bruce. All the rodents that said there was going to be 6 weeks of winter to come, I've guillotined them all. Not a
Yeah, I
problem.
don't believe all that stuff anyway.
The groundhog.
That groundhog's probably been wrong than
Yeah. Well, I was there this year in person. I always saw it on TV. I was there in person this year, and he saw a shadow. Boo! I mean, man, they boo this thing every year. It was last year they actually cheered for the first time ever.
because he didn't see a shadow.
Yeah, last year everybody was cheering. I'm like, it was about time. They get booed every year.
Okay.
But that was a funny week. I was in Antioch, south of Nashville, when they had the high school shooting down the street from the truck stop I was doing a 34-hour reset at. Got that out of the way. A couple of days later, I'm in Puxatawny, and they were going to pull the groundhog out later on in the day. And everybody in the TA was talking about it. And they're like, "You want to ride with us?" Yeah, I'll gave him some gas money, bought him something to eat. We went over there, did that. Groundhog saw shadow, and everybody booed. Then I went to Washington, D.C., middle of the night on the 395. I saw a flash and then a loud boom and saw some sparks. I thought it was a meteorite. No, that was that midair collision. I'm like, man, I got all kinds of things going on around me. But it had the same calling card as a meteorite because I've seen hundreds of them going out west. I'm like, no, that was a midair collision driver. I'm like, no shit. Like just behind me, about maybe a quarter of a mile, maybe half a mile.
Wow.
Just the flash and then the boom, and then I looked in my mirror and saw some sparks floating down. I thought it was a meteor. Too bad I didn't have on a live stream, though. That's why I say you have a live stream and have me up on the panel. You never know what the hell's going to happen. Some weird shit can happen. And you get it on film.
That's right.
And believe me, a lot of it happens around me. Me, with all the shit going on, I just don't want to be in the DC area.
Do you notice anything happening?
No, but it wouldn't surprise me if some shit got started.
If it does, it'll be peaceful. Peaceful. Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, there's already been one nasty fist fight in the truck stop. Some good old country boy was mouthing off to some foreign truckers and caused a fist fight. He got his ass beat for it too. I'm like, you dumb ass. Did you think all the white people were going to come running to your mouthy ass aid? No. They're like, wear that dude out, beat his ass. That's what I was like. He deserved every bit of it. Busted lip, busted eye, nose.
Wow. Hi, Sweet Pea.
Darren said, "Hey."
Hey,
Whew, I'm just grab lunch. You guys keep talking. I'm here in the BG.
All right.
So, Bruce, how'd your live stream go? I stepped in for a minute.
Oh, it went
Last
well.
night.
Yeah, I saw you. I said hi to you.
Uh-huh. Sean, I said, who farted in Bruce's chat? And he's like, not me.
But I'll tell you this much. You won't see any of these drivers wear those MAGA hats to these truck stops. It won't happen. After that guy got his ass beat, it won't happen again.
So, Bruce, that's usually my greeting when I'm in Darren's chat or something, or yours or something, just to goof around.
Well,
But that
that's
was
cool.
It's actually a phrase on one of the guys from Revenge of the Nerds shirt. He
Oh.
had printed on there.
Yeah.
It said,
Yeah, it was Booger.
"Who farted?" Booger.
It was Booger.
He got on a
TV.
plane and he got on
I'm
a
sorry.
plane and the stewardess said, "Hello, sir. We're let me see your ticket and put you in your seat." And he read his shirt and he's like, "Well, did you?" or something like that. And it kind of was rude to her or something like that. So
Yeah, the first big role that he ever got was Bruce Willis's assistant in the TV show Moonlighting. That's where he got his start. The guy that played Booger.
right. He was also in Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Christmas movie. That was good.
But I like. I think they made 4 or 5. I have them all. They made like 4 Revenge of the Nerds movies, and John Panette was in the last 2 as a Scottish exchange student. That was hilarious. He's dressed in his kilt and everything. It's Booger's wedding, right? Well, it's the party before the wedding. And he walks up, and Lewis and Booger are standing next to each other. Goes, Brother Lewis, Brother Booger, why is that buttocks pressed against the glass like a fresh Devonshire ham? The woman screamed. He's like, Ogre! He comes in the door. Did you see my buns? Yeah, I saw it.
He said, "Why the buttocks?"
Pressed against the glass like a fresh Devonshire ham.
Yeah. And you keep saying Booger because I know that's his name, but like Booger.
Well, no matter where he goes, he's been called that for years. Just like the guy, he only played that small part in 16 Candles, the Chinese guy. The actor actually legally changed his name to Dong. And you can hire him for a party, and he'll answer the door for you the way he did in 16 Candles. You put a foot peg on the bottom, he mounts it, and he stands on it, opens the door, and goes, "Hey!" That's why if I won the Powerball for Powerball lottery, I'd hire him for a party.
Didn't he also say, "Hey, sexy girlfriend"? Something like
and he jumps out of the tree.
that. Yeah.
He legally changed his name to Dong, and he's been famous for that part ever since.
And then those old people came out and found him in the yard, and the guy goes, "Dong, Dong," and he was drunk or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, where's my automobile? He's drunk as hell.
Yeah.
I like that when you saw him at the dance for the first time, he's dancing with that girl that's like a foot and a half taller than him. His head's right next to her boobs, and while his head's right next to her boobs, he blows his nose, you know.
Hmm.
And the girl goes, "I've never been with a boy before," and he was like, "Neither have I." But
I'll be back in a minute.
All right.
Molly Ringwald made a good point in that movie. When they're in the car, Dong's driving, got his arm around his girlfriend, and she goes, "You're wonderful together." And then she's like, you can hear what she's thinking. She says, she goes, "Dong has been here for just a few days, and he already has somebody. I've been here my whole life, and I'm like a disease."
Hmm.
Yeah, there's some actors that have played legendary parts in the 80s, but that's basically all they did. They didn't land a role anywhere else. Like
You're far away.
like the smart kid that was in the Breakfast Club. That was his first movie, and then he was in 16 Candles,
I met
and
him.
he was in one other movie, and then that was it. He didn't do anything else.
He was in one of the Halloween movies, the newest one.
Really?
Yep, Halloween
remember
Kills or Ends, one of the two.
That's the one I hadn't seen. That's why I didn't know that. But I've been there. I showed everybody when I was in Illinois there in Dwight. I said, when you look at certain movies, I forgot which one, you see Tommy looking at a map of a train stations, and it shows you right up I-55, right where I was. And I said, going by that map, where there's a Haddonfield is supposed to be, is actually a cornfield, and I showed everybody during a live stream once. There's where Haddonfield would be. It's a cornfield.
Right.
That's why the Halloween movies was big where I grew up, because it was only like 20 miles away where the Haddonfield was supposed to be in the story, and they did limited filming in the area. And we knew those houses didn't exist here. We knew they were filmed out in California. Yeah, the neighborhood shots, that was all California.
Oh, I was this close. Honestly, this close to seeing Robert Englund playing Freddy in person last weekend.
That's why they tried to do that remake, and it didn't work, because nobody can fill those shoes of Robert Englund playing Freddy. And he didn't like it, the remake, because they made Freddy out to be a pedophile, and he didn't like that. He goes, "I would have not made Freddy a pedophile. A child murderer, yes, but not a pedophile." That's one thing he didn't like about the remake.
Yeah.
It's just nobody could fill his shoes in playing that part.
But I went to a Comic-Con and he actually was there.
The only man I met at a Comic-Con was Bradley, that played Pinhead.
Okay.
And I'm on the fucking elevator with him and nobody recognized him, because he had a baseball hat on and he has a raw English accent. And I was talking to my friends and everything, and I was mimicking his voice. And he goes, "Whoa, you sound just like me, mate." And I turned around. I'm like, "Sound like who?" And he took his hat off. "Me." And I'm like, "Pinhead?" I'm like, I didn't realize you were so short. He's a short guy.
Yeah.
When he gave a speech to the fans and everything, he goes, I got one gentleman over there. He sounds just like me right over there. He goes, I had to use, an amplification to get that voice to come out. He can do it naturally. He's pointing right at me. Yeah, there were two parts that I liked about him. He goes, demons to some, angels to others. And then I like that where he appeared behind her and says, we have such sights to show you. But believe it or not, they were actually the heroes, not the villains in that movie. They were the heroes, which made no sense at all. The villain in the movie was the girl's uncle. Because he had escaped them. And when she opened the box, the way for her to get out of it was, she goes, do you know this person? And they're like, yeah, no one escapes us. Well, he did. And she led them back to him to drag him back down to hell.
So you remember the movie Freddy versus Jason, right?
Excellent movie, yes.
I loved it. I got to meet the guy who actually played that Jason character as well. The nicest guy you could ever meet.
They usually get big guys like me to fill those roles. There's been a few guys that played Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, but I don't understand why Kane Hodder looks short. But then when you meet this guy, his name's Ken Kersinger. He's 6'5".
Yeah.
Easy. So he was really nice to me and Marion. We got to talk with him before he started getting a line at his table. And we rolled up. I pushed Marion up with the wheelchair. I came up to him. I says, I got a bone to pick with you, sir. He's like, okay. And I was teasing him. I was just like, bone with you, And I told him, you were probably one of my best Jason Voorhees. Oh, I appreciate that. Seriously, that's nice of you. What can
If
I
I
do?
ever,
He said,
if
go
I,
ahead and pick something on the table here. It wasn't free. But
if I ever met him, I would tell him back in the 90s, if you ever went to Paramount's Kings Island when Paramount Pictures owned that amusement park. Now for Darren, it's owned by Paramount also. Near Darren is Canada's Wonderland. That's why we used our season passes to get in Canada's Wonderland, because the same company, Paramount, owned both parks. But they also own Carowinds near you.
Yep.
Which is on the border of South Carolina, North Carolina. And in Virginia, they own King's Dominion. The only park, Paramount Park, when they owned them at the time, that we never went to, I finally drove by it there a few months ago. It was in Santa Clara, California, Wonderland.
I thought it was Magic Mountain.
No, Magic Mountain. That's Six Flags.
Buns, turn that off.
And I would have told him, if I was there with you and met him, I would have told him, back in the late 90s, I played you at Paramount's Kings Island during Fear Fest.
Here. Today hurts.
If you have any information about this alert, contact the Harnett County Sheriff's Office at 910-893-91.
Amber Alert?
911.
Yeah, did you get one?
No, I didn't get it. I thought it was my phone. Now look. But it's typically, most of the time, those Amber Alerts, the father ran with the kids because he never gets to see them. It's usually the same case with every one of those Amber Alerts.
Here, Buns. Right.
But I wish I could. He would have went for it when I auditioned in Georgia. Shit, that was 6 years ago. Yeah, it was in 2019. I wanted to be a zombie, but there's this line in there that says, "Is there a future role you would like to play?" And he goes, "You're the only one out of all these years that put Sawyer down. And looking at you with the long hair you got, you would be perfect for that part." I said, "I kind of figured because I learned, there's a lot of roles out there that people want to play, and it's like you got to look the part. You can't just want to play a part in a movie, and if you don't look the part, you can't do it. You got to look the part." And I did. And I knew I did. So he kept my name and phone number. And
Right.
that's why he gave it to the director of the TV series The Purge. And he called me up for a character idea he had. He said, "Kirkman, we were students together and you at UCLA." And he goes, "I'm the one that's been filming the TV series The Purge. And we don't keep a cast. You play one season and you're gone. Because one season is one night of The Purge and then it ends." I'm like, "That's kind of cool." And he had a character that had these, the nightsticks they used in Police Academy. It was like L shaped. It had a side handle. I forgot what they call those nightsticks.
Right.
But he had weapons that looked like that, but they were swords, and they would I would swing them around and decapitate people, and then swing them back in. I'm like, "That's kind of cool." Anyway, what happened was he told me, "Meet me." This was right before the lockdowns happened. I'm out in California. He's like, "Great, I'm delivering a load here." He goes, "And I can park there." And he said, "Good, you just hop on a cab and come over here to the Egg Slut." Yes, that's the name of the restaurant in LA called the Egg Slut. And I'm like, "I'm allergic to eggs." He goes, "They got other things. Don't worry about it." But when I got there, he was very apologetic. He goes, "Less than 24 hours ago, they canceled all filming of all shows
Buns,
because
just
of the lockdowns."
pick the wrapper with your finger. Try not to stab yourself, please. We don't need that.
I got it.
And he said, "I'm so sorry." He goes, "But I'll buy your lunch and everything. We could talk." He goes, "I'll keep your information." But they didn't have a season 3 Purge because they canceled all TV shows because of the lockdowns. And I'm like, "Damn it. That was my foot in the door to play roles like Jason Voorhees or Leatherface or something because I looked the part." And if they made a real life movie of Cactus Jack, I could play Cactus Jack too. The only problem is I can't grow a beard or a mustache. They'd have to put a fake one on me.
Mm.
That's what he said. Kirkman said to me, he goes, "You look like a cross between Meatloaf and Cactus Jack." I told him, I said, "I can't grow facial hair." He goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, because I'm half native. And we're not a very hairy people."
It's the same candies.
Man, that'd be awesome if they ever did that movie, The True Life Story of Cactus Jack. Well, Mick Foley is his real name. Cactus Jack, Mankind, Dude Love, whoever the hell you are.
Yeah, they consider what's his name?
Mick Foley.
Yeah, they consider him a comedian and stuff, and I don't see. I don't know if I see the humor in him.
Oh yeah, you got to watch some of the things he did.
But he's a
If he
wrestler.
did,
His first
Yeah.
career was wrestling.
yeah, but he stayed in character when it came to wrestling. When you're with him normally in like a normal life, he's very funny.
Mm. You remember Kane, right? Kane.
Yeah, he's the mayor of some town in Tennessee, right? Knoxville, I think it is.
I'm not sure. I got to see him last year in November.
But Mick Foley is the toughest wrestler I had ever seen in the history of wrestling. Nobody could have withstand the punishment that he put himself through. Like when Ron Simmons said about that, he goes, "Lovely people, love Mick Foley." He goes, "But you knew going in, he wasn't afraid of shit. Jump off of buildings, run through firewalls, body slam on thumbtacks. He didn't care." Because where he became a legend is when him and the Undertaker, which they're best of friends, threw him off the top of the cage, which is about 15 feet, and he landed on the table. It's amazing. He got up and came back to the ring and wanted to fight some more. It was in Pittsburgh, and people went nuts that night. But I seen him live wrestle Terry Funk, and those two damn near killed each other in the ring. I don't know how they got up and walked away from all that. There's a stack of tables, and Cactus tried to slam Terry Funk through it, and they both ended up falling through all of them. It was like, God damn.
So, if you want me to, somebody's here. I didn't notice that. Sorry.
Hey, Josh, how are you?
Oh, there's
I'm
Sharon.
all right. How are you?
Yeah, I sent her the link.
Yeah.
And she was. I forgot to tell you she was busy with somebody. She couldn't come in right away.
No, my father is using my phone, calling my uncle from other country, okay, because he has no Facebook account. So I'm the only one have a contact with that person. So yeah, they're talking about something family stuff, So
Yeah,
so
Sharon.
son, what are you doing?
I'm shut down until later on tonight, and then I go get the ice cream because the load isn't
Sharon,
ready.
how you doing?
Sharon's the
Hi,
only
Darren
Philippine.
Doctor, how you doing?
I'm
And
good. I just ate
hello,
lunch.
Chicken Fire Event, Bruce.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Josh. Sharon's
How
the
you
only
doing,
Filipino. Cher would be the only Filipina that would be awake at this hour because she has insomnia really bad. That's why she's awake.
Yeah, I know.
Just eating
Hey,
lunch,
Sean,
guys.
just check my check your messenger. Okay, I send you something.
Ask me
Yeah,
who's
I send
live.
you something.
Josh,
Huh?
you said
No,
who's
I sent
live?
you something lately. After we talk, lately with Sammy.
Josh, I talked to Josh earlier before the live stream. He said he'd like to bury the hatchet with Sammy. I told him I was trying to get you, Vinko, and Sammy to bury the hatchet, but Sammy's having a hard time.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send you again. Okay. Yeah, but Vinco is you know
No, I'll bury the hatchet with anybody. I just joke. That's all I do.
It don't do no good to keep that hatchet out, does it?
Oh, my hatchet's
Okay.
been all rusted out.
It just it just adds years to your life, you know.
Yeah, and the handle, the wood handle is all rotted and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Darren, what are you doing now? Oh, he's taking a lunch.
Election. Yeah, eating lunch, but getting ready for elections again. It's tomorrow.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I was about to ask you who won.
No one won yet. The election's still happening. It's for for a premier of our province. So we'll find out tomorrow night after 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah. Isn't that woman I was talking to you about with the glasses? Isn't she favored to win that?
No, you might be talking about the federal election. This is provincial election.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's different. That'll
This
be
is
maybe 2 months down the road.
is to kick Justin Trudeau out. Fuck you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's resigning, so they're looking for a new leader for the Liberal Party, and then after that, they go back to Parliament.
Yes, that
and
one.
probably dissolve it and then have an election.
Yeah, they say the Canadians really like that woman with the glasses because of what she said to Trump in response of making them the 51st state. He goes, well, we'll offer California, Oregon, and Washington to join Canada because we got free health care.
Oh, yeah,
Everybody's like, that sounds like a plan.
She's head of the Green Party. The Green Party doesn't have a chance, but yeah, she's fantastic.
It was a brilliant comment. It was like, man, everybody be jumping to that free health care because I don't care what insurance you have, you're going bankrupt if you go to the hospital.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, son, I already sent it to you.
Fag.
You'll have to wait till probably Friday morning, Cher.
Okay. No, I'm just. Oh my God, what happened here? No, I'm just. Right now, I'm studying now with a different language, guys.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What language are you studying?
Oh, I'm studying Spanish and Italian, and that's it.
Oh, that's awesome. Both at the same time?
No, I concentrate first the Italian, then after that the Spanish. Okay, since my heritage is Spanish. My sister can speak.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll enjoy it. Both Italian and Spanish, English.
No.
It's all very similar, so you should be able to do it.
Yeah. You know what, Darren? I thank you very much for making me happy, for commenting on my videos. Okay, thank you very much for that. Right now I'm telling you now, guys. Okay. I'm not making drama here. Okay, guys. On March, I need to have a biopsy. Okay. My doctor wants to know if I have a cancer.
Right.
I'm not keeping this as a as a secret
Wait.
now, since
Wait.
I trusted Josh, I trusted Shooting Star MS, Bruce, and also Sean, and also Darren.
Yeah, but see that's common and it's easily fixable. They'll just give you a hysterectomy, like they do all the other women. But that
Yeah.
that can be expensive though. They'll just remove your uterus and leave your ovaries.
And your
Yeah.
anus.
They leave the
What?
ovaries. They leave the ovaries so you don't grow a beard and mustache and start talking like Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, it's
And you have
called
to
a
take a
partial.
estrogen pill.
It's called a partial hysterectomy.
But that's common.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the more common way they do it. But some people have to have the full hysterectomy. It just depends.
Yeah, if
And,
they do that, Cher, you'll be on estrogen pills the rest of your life.
that's why they need to do
My
the
God.
biopsy first to see
Uh-huh.
what's going on down there, and
Because
then then they can make that decision as to what's going to be best for you. Now, if you do end up having to have a full hysterectomy, they will prescribe you medicine. That will.
Because if you stop
Yeah,
taking that medicine,
Yeah.
you'll
But you have to keep taking it. Yeah, you've got to keep taking it.
like Sammy. If you stop taking it, you'll grow a set of nuts.
Here we go.
Yeah, seriously, guys, I'm getting depressed, and I cannot do anything. This is the reason why you cannot see me live. I'm really worried a lot, and I'm having a hard time to eat very well. So I'm very sorry, guys. Okay, I'm not supposed to announce this here, and I'm very sorry, Josh, because I know Josh for a long time. And yeah, I know there are some trolls are trying to make fun of me. Then do whatever you
I'm
want,
not
but
going to talk about that
this
kind of
is
thing.
this is not a joke. Yeah,
Nah, it's not a joke.
my daughter needs me. That's why I wanted to extend my life.
Well, hopefully it's not. And it's just like maybe a cyst, and they pop it, and you're done. That's best
Yeah,
case
I know.
scenario. It's
Yeah,
just the
hopefully you're
surgery
going
is
to be
expensive
okay.
for you.
No, because I'm going to miss you all. If ever something happened to me,
Oh no, nothing will happen to you, Cher.
No, you're going to be
I
fine.
have so many friends in YT.
You're still young and strong. I highly doubt anything's gonna happen to you. But like I said, it's easy fix it. The only issue is the surgery is probably very expensive for you.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what my parents will do. Okay, because yeah, I'll tell you, Sean, on the private. Okay, not here on the YT.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Because
wouldn't be
I know
talking
there's
about this
some
on
calls, they
YT.
hate me. They hate
I,
me because I'm watching another channel. I'm not going to mention any names, guys. I really don't like mocking people. You know that.
yeah, I understand. I wouldn't be bringing up any kind of personal issues on YT.
Yeah,
There's too many people out here that are not trustworthy, and they will go blabbing personal information that doesn't really need to be exposed to the public. Uh,
yeah,
I know that to be true, and
Yeah. Well,
you know,
these people should know if you're not going to help, don't hurt.
well, some people don't care.
Yeah, I know they're
Some people
douchebags. Those
absolutely,
trolls are.
they are just as heartless as can be, and they don't care about you, me, or anybody else. All
yeah.
they care
Just I'm
about is
very
what
sorry.
fits
I
into
don't
the
mean to
rules.
announce it here.
And it's people like that, they lose support because of the drama they stir up.
Yeah. I don't know why people need to make dramas. But what I really like from Josh, because Josh loves to make fun. Loves to imitate the voice of me, Mrs. Doubtfire. What's the name?
Mrs.
Josh.
Mrs.
Doubtfire.
Josh.
Doubtfire.
Yeah, Robin Williams.
Yeah, I know. Josh had really nailed it.
Yeah, I was robbed of ever. I was always wanting to meet him because I've emulated him since I was in kindergarten. I wore the
Yeah.
suspenders just like he did, the same rainbow with a moon and a cloud on it. Emulated him since I
Oh
was in
yeah,
kindergarten.
Robin Williams is my favorite comedian. He,
Yeah. Too bad he passed away.
Me, I say he
I
was the
think
funniest
throughout.
man that ever lived.
Well, he was. He was a very funny man, and what was amazing about him was how he could just ad lib stuff up there on stage, just create it as he went.
Oh yeah, you're talking about
Um,
what's that word? Improv. I'm good at that too.
yeah,
By following his career and
yeah.
emulating him, I just naturally learned how to improv.
He made it up as he went, and that was amazing.
Yeah, but he's married to a Filipina, right?
His second wife, I don't know. First wife, no. He got married a second time, like 5 years before he died, and Bobcat Goldthwait
Oh,
was his best man. And Bobcat during the speech said, "I can't believe he asked me to be his best man. It's like inviting a burn victim to a fireworks show. he knew that the speech was going to be a zoo because Bobcat's just as funny as he is.
Yeah, I know, Sean. Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
him and
know
Bob.
what? The funniest comedian that I really like is Robbie Williams.
Yeah,
I'm
if you were
talking
ever
about
around,
the comedian Robbie Williams.
yeah, I know this and learned from other people that knew him or hung around him. If you were going to be a Robin Williams, you were going to laugh at least once, if not the entire time he's with you.
Yeah.
Okay, he was married 3 times.
Oh, he was married 3
Oh,
times?
really?
Yes. I just pulled it up on Google. His first wife, let's see. Okay, his first wife was Valerie Bilardi, and he was married to her for about 10 years, from 78 to 88. And then in 1989, he married Marcia Garces Williams, and he was married to her from 1989 to 2010. And then his third wife was Susan Schneider from 2011 to 2014. And that's probably
Yeah.
when he passed away.
Yeah, that's when he passed away.
You know.
Yeah, too much depression, you know. You see, if a person depressed, this is what will happen, you know. This is the most important, that if ever a one person is depressed, don't make fun of it, you know. It's not nice, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. It ran in his family. It was chronic depression. It wasn't necessarily anything that happened to him. It was just chronic depression. It runs in his family because
Yeah.
Yeah.
he did have a drinking problem and he did have a drug problem. But what solved his drug problem was when John Belushi. He became real good friends with John Belushi, and John Belushi died from an overdose. That's what straightened
Oh shit.
Robin out, and he stopped snorting coke. And
Oh shit.
I like what Robin Williams said because he always had an alcohol problem too. He goes, "That's why when I went to rehab, I went to rehab in wine country because I wanted to keep my options open." Wine country in California is where all the grapes are grown, like Delano. I've been through there many a time. He goes, "I'm the only man in the history to get a DUI in a cul-de-sac."
By the way, Bruce, how are you now? I just, you know what? I always seen you. You're singing.
Oh, I'm okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Doing
but
okay.
I cannot come. Huh?
I'm doing fine, Sheriff. And thanks for asking.
Yeah, but someday I will come up in your life, okay? Because sometimes I was really depressed, and you know, I'm trying to you know, sometimes I have an incomplete sleep, you know.
I understand. Yeah,
So
you
I hope I
you
will
come
go
on
back
town
to
sometime. You
I
want to
miss
come up
you also.
and sing or something, that's fine. That's usually, what, of course, let's see, last night, I think there was, a couple of people just came up and hung out. One of them was at work and
Hmm.
stayed muted. And then finally she got down. And the other one, he
Hmm.
came up for a little while, but then he got down. And,
Hmm.
but, I had some good people on the panel last night. And, we had some good singing going on.
Yeah, sorry about the noise, okay? Because my young cockatiel is keep on chirping here at night.
I
Yeah, I'll never.
understand.
Bruce, I remember when the first time. This was one of his early on when he was really young still. It was a couple years after Belushi's death. He did a live stand up in San Francisco in his hometown, and it was at this opera house.
Yeah.
and he was drinking water. He just went through rehab to curb his alcohol and consumption. But he was
Mhm.
talking about the story, and everybody was laughing about it, but it was true. He, he grabbed a glass of water, because that's what he would drink up on stage, because that man sweated. If he wasn't drinking water, he'd pass out because he'd dehydrate because he would sweat so
Right.
much up there. But he's got a cup of water, a solo cup full of water, and it's got straws in it. And he goes, I remember going to rehab, and he's holding the drink in his hand, and he's shaking it, and the water's going everywhere. He goes, I'm fine now. And he squishes the cup in his hand and throws it on the stage. He goes, I feel so much better about myself. He goes, no. You have the double cup vodka. I'll be in the corner kicking the cat.
Yeah, he was he could take something like that most people can't do this, but he could take something like that and turn it into something hilarious.
Yeah,
And
that's what I learned it from,
yeah,
and I started
yeah,
doing my own comedy from doing that. It's
he
like
had a real good gift for that.
I could look at an object and I can make jokes about it. I learned that from him over the years.
Yeah.
That's why when I see something and I can see it described as something else, I'm like, that looks like a coffee can, and everybody starts laughing because it does, but it's something else. I forgot what it was though. Like, I'm the one that started that joke. It's going to spread. Somebody else is going to take credit for it, but I started it the day I heard it. That the Elon Musk and Doge, I call it douche. Because I was douched. Yeah, they closed my stock market account, my shares. They sold them all off, took their fee, and sent me a big fat check. And I'm like, why did you do this? So that's what I had to stop in my hometown for, to sign it and put it in the damn bank so I don't lose my money. And I'm like, I'll get to it. Merrill Lynch can go to hell along with douche, and I can just go with somebody else and buy gold or something like that.
The reason they probably did that is because there's so much fraud going on. And it might have been to protect your money from being heisted by a scammer.
Yeah, but the market's going to crash, and next one's going to be a doozy. We're already past the worst unemployment in the history of the United States. We're worse than the Great Depression now. When 2.4 million federal workers got put in the unemployment line last week, that really shot us over the 25% mark.
Yeah,
and then that's not including the ones that got laid off from other jobs. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of those too. And I'm like, well, you got all these people entering the unemployment line, and then here in a couple months, in late May, when the college graduate, they're going to be looking for a job too, and there isn't any. And I'm like, you guys better take that in consideration. Better do something different, because you trying to start a revolution. Because believe me, the French aristocracy didn't see it coming in 1789 either. And they started chopping heads. Somebody already mentioned bringing back the guillotine.
Desperate people do desperate things.
If I was in the Secret Service and you got a few 100,000 people out there that are armed, I'm like, fuck this, go ahead. I'm out of here. I'm not dying.
When you think about like certain people, like Napoleon, for example, he had been, they sent him off somewhere, dethrone him and all that, and he got out of there and tried to make a comeback, and then he faced Waterloo.
Yeah, I mean, how could you miss such a short man like him?
After that, he was pretty much that pretty much ended his deal. He desperately, though, he was desperate to get his power back. and
Yeah.
fail. You know,
I'm like, how
and
can you not find a man that short? And that's an aristocrat. That's Napoleon, man. Look how short he is.
yeah, he you know, and other things like that throughout history, where somebody desperate did some made some kind of a desperate move to uh because they were desperately uh trying to save their ass, I guess you could say, and just to have it backfire on them.
Well, Marie Antoinette didn't help King Louis there at all by saying to the people, let him eat shit. That's why people say she didn't say it and let him eat cake. I said, no. If you talk to somebody from France,
Yeah.
she said, no, what she said was let him eat shit. It's just it was softened up so they can put it in textbooks for children to read.
Right. Well, anyway, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, we end up in a situation like that, but anything can happen, and and if it does happen that way, then that means that what they are doing is going to backfire on them. Chances are a lot of these federal employees are probably not going to, a good many of them are probably already, making some kind of plans to, take some kind of legal action. And in
Yeah,
fact, I've seen some things in the news that indicate that's what they're doing, but
but high tech isn't hiring. They're not going to find a job that's in their field. I'd be like, you'd be lucky they'll be lucky to find a job being a barista at Starbucks. There aren't the jobs out here, especially with that amount of people that were put on the unemployment line. If I was employed and I ran an executive office like that, I would take their application, and if they were better than some of my lackeys, I'd drop my lackeys and bring the better ones in. But that's going to be very few and far between. That's hardly even going to be noticed of that happening.
Yeah.
But these people are going to remain on the unemployment line. They'll probably get a job at Burger King, McDonald's, or some bullshit like that, because that's the only people that are hiring at minimum wage.
Yeah.
And I could offer them to come to the trucking industry, but I'm telling you, better than 80% of you are not going to be able to do it.
Because a lot of those people were making 6 figures a year.
Yeah, if they want to make 6 figures, they're going to have to make a lifestyle change. If they want to be a trucker, they can make 6 figures a year getting in trucking.
Yeah.
But a lot of people won't do it.
No,
they don't want to be away from family. They want to be constantly be on the road and traveling all the time. That's why it's a lifestyle. That's why over 80% of the students, they'll be in it for a while and then they quit. They go and do something else. Not a whole lot of people stay in the industry.
Yeah, I know. I had my late wife, her stepfather was a trucker, and and for a while there, for a few years, he was taking my late wife's mom with him, and she went on the road there for, I guess, maybe a couple of years, but she finally had enough of it and started letting him just go on and go so she could stay home and relax, And I know he probably missed that, but he eventually got to where he finally stepped down from doing it. Of course, he's on up in his years now.
Yeah, you very rarely see young guys doing this job because they're going to want their girlfriend or significant other with them to get booty.
Sure they are. It's lonely out there on the road, I'm sure. Yeah.
And we tell them.
Huh?
I tell those young guys, you got a girl and everything. Just make sure that they understand of the individual that they're marrying. It's either this: you marry me and have a good, halfway decent life, or you can marry the kid that's in mommy and daddy's basement that doesn't make any money. So make your choice. That's basically the choices you got.
Right. Anyway,
And believe it or not, some of these girls go for the guy that lives in mom and dad's basement. That doesn't work.
Well, anyway, we'll see what happens about all that. Hopefully, we don't end up in a.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that right, Cher? Cher knows who I'm talking about.
Huh?
Cher knows who I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
I know that guy. Yeah. Yeah.
And I can see her turning into Sammy briefly. You're an asshole. I'm used to getting called that, especially from Sammy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just laying it out, laying reality out there.
You were those.
But I didn't see Bruce in person. He's been in the Philippines, right?
Do not mute.
Huh?
You've been in the Philippines before, Bruce?
Well, I went there last autumn for a few weeks.
Too bad I didn't see you. You're my favorite friend here in YT.
Yeah, because Cher and Blessed Life were the welcoming committee in Manila. They meet up with everybody.
Yeah.
I met up with a few people, but at the time I was there was like 6 typhoons that came through.
Jesus.
Yeah, I probably picked a bad time of year to go there because it was right smack in the middle of typhoon season.
Monsoon season.
Yeah, well, it was the wet season, but that's when the typhoons come through, and there was like 6 of them, and I mean they were coming like one right after another. As soon as one would come by, then another one was.
I think I remember that because Sammy's parents' parents' house with the roof got blown off when you were over there.
I spent most of my time in up at Angeles City because it was a kind of a safe location. I didn't want being that was my first time to go there. I was kind of like, well, I don't think I ought to be traveling around right now, considering that there was all these typhoons coming through. But I had friends up there, and that was fine. That was fine. We got together as time allowed, and got out, did a few things.
Sometimes I was in Angeles City too.
Oh, you
Because I
were?
have some friends over there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They own a restaurant, actually.
Yeah.
I'm not after the girls there. I don't care about the girls there. They can do their business. I never go to a walking street. It's just like I'm visiting friends. I have relatives also there, but the problem is my relatives are not so close to me. It's only 2 of them who are close to me, and that's it.
I went down there. I didn't really care too much for walking street. It reminded
me too.
of a place here in the U.S. Actually, a little
I
bit.
know.
And,
Well, actually, there are some bars already. They're converted into into a sports bar.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I saw
Bar there.
a lot of it, and I was just like, I mean, I guess you have to see it once, really. Just if you're not from the Philippines, just to see it, because they kind of play it up real big and everything. But then you go down there and you're like, And some people get into that kind of stuff. I understand that, but it's just not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really something I cared that much about. And
Yeah.
I went to a museum there at Clark, and
Oh yeah, there's something there.
yeah, it's a very interesting museum. And I started trying to make a video, and my phone, the battery drained down, so I wasn't able to make as much video, and I ended up I didn't even show. I just deleted it all because it just wasn't enough. The place it had too much to show, and going into it, I didn't know really just how big it was, I guess. And
Yeah.
and then after we got in there and everything, and uh I started making video and everything, and then I looked at my battery, and it was like down to 28%. And we still had over half of the place I hadn't even gone to. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, dang,
Bruce.
man, I'm gonna have to come back in order to.
Yeah, Bruce. The only problem there is the Koreans. Because
Huh?
my friend of mine, Big Joe, was there. While he was taking a video in a walking street, there's a bunch of Korean mafia is trying to mock him and trying to spit on him.
Yeah, I tried to make some video down there, and I don't, I've got it. I went ahead and uploaded it, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it public because I don't really like the video.
They're
Yeah,
spitting
yeah.
on him.
You know how it is when you don't like
So
something.
the other Korean spit on him, and then a Big Joe said, "Oh, you want to fight with me?" And he's a fat guy. Oh
Yeah,
my
and then
God.
I got sick. I got sick down there, and went back to my hotel, and I
Mhm.
was not feeling good. So that
Yeah.
video, I'm probably not even gonna make it public.
Yeah, don't make it public. If you feel that it will affect your channel, just private to
Well,
you, okay? Or make it unlisted. Make it unlisted so no one can see it.
that's what it is now. It's just unlisted. I just left it there, and
Yeah.
I went back in there to see about editing it, and the more I looked at it, the more I thought this isn't gonna work, and so I just deleted it. I mean, I haven't deleted it. I just left it alone, and
Yeah.
decided, I don't think I'm gonna make this public. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's just,
I might I might soon visit some friends there. Yeah, if ever I have an operation, I'll visit this person because we have the same situation also. But I don't know
yeah,
when. To be honest, I'm not making fun of that place. Whenever I go there, I went to Clark, SM Clark. I just buy something there, but walking around with the bars there, no way. Especially in Phyllis Bar, Jesus Christ, there's so many, retired U.S. Army there. They hang around, and those poor girls, some of them, they are, what we call this, they've been manipulated by the mama san. It's really pity. There's another one,
yeah.
oldies like 45. She's still doing the bar thing. Yeah. I'm so sad about that. If only in the Philippines, everybody can give us a job. These people will not doing that. To be honest, so
Ugh.
I'm not underestimating these people.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And the thing is a lot of those people, they have no interest in doing that. That's
Yeah, it is.
so. Yeah, it's just best
Yeah,
not
but
to have any
I
expectations.
Hi, Josh.
Hey,
Oh my God, Josh is really fun, I still remember the Monster Hangman, and he's very good when it comes to, for guessing games. And Ellie is getting pissed off. Yeah.
oh, definitely, dear.
There you go. If I hear Josh, oh my God, this is so funny.
Well, you should have
Kuya
been
Sean,
around.
where are you?
You should have been around this week. I was calling a few places and stuff and acting like Mrs. Doubtfire, and these people just
Yeah.
would not get a sense of humor out of their ass. They just didn't really laugh and say, "Oh, you're so cute. I love that voice. Where are you from?" And they didn't say any of that. They just accepted and talked to me like I was a British English woman. So
Like probably just they didn't catch on to it. They just weren't catching on to that, Josh. That's all that was.
I know these people are local. They should have seen that movie.
What?
I know
Yeah.
people at Burger King locally near me. Burger King, one of the ladies stepped out of the window and she said, "Oh, you should be in voiceover. That's so good. There's no woman in your car, and you just did that to me." And she was really excited to hear it. And I was like, she's like, "Did you just order?" I said, "Yeah." "Who do you think it was?" "A woman answered. I didn't know who it was." I guess that's not funny.
Oh, I'm falling asleep, guys. I'm going to go to sleep because I got to wake up at 8 and go get that load of ice cream, take it to New Jersey.
Yeah. Take
Thanks for
care,
having me,
Sean,
Josh.
okay?
All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye.
All
All
right.
right.
Take care.
Yeah. It was really nice to see Josh, it's been a long time,
Tear.
and also Bruce.
Yeah, it's always good to see you, Sheriff. Let's see, Mrs. Doubtfire. It came out in 1993.
Yep.
That means there's probably a good many people that are in YouTube now that weren't even born then.
Yeah.
So
But
you got to
Bruce,
take that into consideration, Josh, is that, there's a lot of people that weren't around in 1993 now.
Yeah.
mhm.
But this lady was like probably in her 60s or 70s, maybe 50s,
Yeah.
60s. But I don't question it. They're just impressed. That's just, they made their day.
Yeah.
So,
This-
and Marion's been, huh?
Josh, I have to step down now. And I'm sorry to interrupt you guys. I need to take a rest for a while, okay?
Yeah, have a good night,
All right,
Sheriff.
Sheriff, you take care.
Good night.
Try to
Good night,
get you some
everyone.
sleep.
Bye.
Good night.
Mrs. Doubtfire lives in perpetuity.
Yeah. It's, it was a funny, I remember watching it, it was a funny movie,
Classic.
Yeah. It won the Academy Award for Best Makeup and the Golden Globe Award for Best Motion Picture.
Wow.
You should check the outtakes and the bloopers of the film. Robin just cracks on everybody.
Oh, I'm sure. It's probably very funny. He probably, I can just see could just imagine the bloopers. And, yeah. He probably had a lot of fun doing that movie.
When they were doing the makeup on the mask, the lady was doing the makeup on him, and he was using the voice, practicing, doing all that. And this is in the bloopers. And he was, as she's patting him with the powder and everything and getting him all fixed up, he was talking about something. I don't know how it went, but he's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. I feel like I'm getting powdered oil on my face or something.
Yeah.
And to make it look kind of wet and, you know, whatever in one of the scenes. So,
Right.
and then the kids were there. They were in the bloopers as well. And she sat down with the kids on the couch, casting couch, if you will. And they were going over their lines and stuff before a lot of the scenes. And he got down to the little girl, Lydia, or Natalie, and he was like, she said, "And who might you be, dear?" And she's like, "Natalie. Oh, Natalie. Oh, what a wonderful name." You know, just kind of joking with them before each scene. He had the whole cast and crew in stitches. There was no doubt.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. He was a funny guy. I mean, you know,
Naturally funny, so talented.
definitely one of the funniest people that's ever been around as far as
Never lived. Yeah.
you know, comedians.
And if you watch his live from New York stand-up special, they put 12 bottles of water on a table on stage so he can have something to drink because he was sweating so much. And he probably sucked down about 10 bottles before the show ended.
Wow.
I don't doubt it. I've seen his live shows.
Was it an hour?
Maybe hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. I used
And
to
the
watch
lights on
his live.
stage.
They were
The lights on
hilarious.
stage are hot, so they're blasting on you as well.
Yeah, just the lights alone are hot. And plus he was very active as far as like moving around and stuff. And so he probably had to stay hydrated. And, you know, otherwise he probably could not have stayed up there and done that for as long as he would do it. You know, I worked on a stage crew. So I know how those lights, man, they generate a lot of heat.
That's right.
And,
yeah, I was doing stand-up before, and I remember how hot it was because they say, well, you can't really see the audience with that bright light. And they said, imagine everybody naked. I was like, I don't know how to do that really, and they thought that was funny. They said, you can imagine people naked? I said, oh, I can. I'd rather see it than be blinded by the light, you know. And the host of the show, he told all the crowd, don't boo the new people because they're first timers, you know, just like sex. So, you know, he kind of just, you know, everybody, they didn't boo us or anything. They were trying to do like a YouTube video that makes, you know, out of 40, 50 people, I was number 4. And they started talking about dicks and privates and religion and politics. And it's like, I had 5 other friends and Marion plus myself. And it got kind of racy. So I had some black friends with me. I said, I'm done. They're talking about dicks and boobs and everything else. Not interested. It really wasn't a turn on for me. I don't like privates. You know, I like imitations, sounds, and impressions, whatever. And a lot of them didn't perform all that. I did a couple of jokes, but it just got really bad. And I haven't been back since. And people say, you got to go again. You've got to go again. Because I just started working as that time, watching Ms. Doubtfire so many times. I'm willing to do it again on stage. But I want to get the costume together too. But I just don't want anybody that might know me thinking, fag, you know, and all this stuff, because he was in drag. That's what they call it. Now, Robin has a story in Frisco during his break times on filming that he went to an adult store, if you will, and without the arms on his costume, he had the hairy arms like for himself, so he wasn't all in costume. So during the break, he went as her to this adult bookstore and used the voice, but the owner knew it was him because Robin was really well known in town. And I guess Robin's been to this store. Okay. And he goes up to the owner because he didn't have any clue at first. He's like, "Yes, dear, how much for the two-headed one?" And the guy was like, "What?" Like out of it, like didn't know who it was. He says, "Robin, that's you, isn't it?" And that was it. Like he just went in to tease the guy to get a two-headed dildo. And it was just funny. I guess you guys have to watch it. Darren says, "I'm muting it. Who cares?" So, Bruce, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. But yeah, he kid around with a lot of people on set, and I thought that was funny. I was watching the bloopers about it. He was, when I heard that he died and stuff, it popped up on the Today Show type Twitter account. And I just happened to look, and I was like, it just kind of refreshed and showed it. Robin Williams dead at, what was it, 50? No, dead at 60 or something like that. I'm not sure. But it, honestly, I cried for a week because I was going on a trip with my family and we went to the Hollywood Wax Museum. Not Hollywood Wax Museum, but a different place in Myrtle Beach. And they had a statue of him with the updated date when he passed and everything. And it was just a hurtful time. And when my favorite celebrities pass away, I kind of get emotional. I was hurt. And anyway, still touches me till this day. But I've got a lot of favorites too, and I just kind of when Jay Leno got burned by his vehicle he was working on. Remember that, Bruce?
Yeah.
When he got burned, and I thought he wasn't going to survive this. I mean, and then he was in a chamber of sorts to get healed. I didn't know he was going to make that. And anyway, if Jim Carrey did something wrong or passed away, that would crush me. Paul Walker, I wasn't a true fan, but that disturbed me a little bit. But there's only a certain handful I really, truly like, and I'll repeat the movies all the time. But I really didn't get concerned about the ones that passed from Police Academy at all. I mean, they're just old age. A lot of them are dementia. A lot of them can't hear. A lot of them are fall risk people. A lot of them are in homes right now, still living. Yeah, so that's just how it goes. But
Yeah. We don't ever know when we're going to pass. Nobody
Right.
knows. And it's just, you just never know. Let's see.
Yeah.
Robin Williams, he was born July 21st, 1951.
Yeah.
He died August 11th, 2014. So he wasn't but about 63 years old.
Right. Yep. And he was born in Chicago. Everybody thinks he was born in a different country.
Yeah.
He was born in
He was
Chicago.
born in Chicago. Uh-huh. He's from Chicago.
Yeah. So. And Pierce Brosnan was in that one, Mrs. Doubtfire, and his name was Stu, right? Short for Stewart. And when Sally Fields told Mrs. Doubtfire, Robin Williams, she asked Sally, "What's his name?" And and she's like, "It's Stu." "Ooh, stew. Sounds like a thick soup." So, who's your gentleman caller? And then he breaks off the Mercedes emblem thing off his car outside the house and takes it to Sally. She's like, Miss Doubtfire comes in and says, "Can you help me, dear? I found this outside." And then Pierce comes over and tells her, "Oh, it's off my Mercedes." "Oh, you own that big expensive car out there." "Oh, I bet you're trying to," like something about, exceed smaller genitals. You know, and he's like, thank you, you know, and he was going to figure it out and put it back on the car later or something. But
Yeah, 'cause he
she
looked
always
kinda
attacked
puzzled.
Pierce. Sorry?
He looked kind of puzzled
Oh, he was
when
like,
she said that.
and when she broke it off the car, she's like, oh, it's so sad when that happens. And she's breaking it off. And then she comes in and says, can you help me, dear? I found this outside. And then he told her, oh, it's off my Mercedes. You own that big expensive car out there. Ooh. You know, and it's just, he's just funny.
Yeah. Well, he was a funny guy. Anyway.
But I don't mean to keep you, Bruce. If you want to go eat, go ahead. I'm about to, it's 5 minutes.
Yeah, I need to get busy here. I need to eat. I got some other things I need to get done. It's after 1 o'clock now. So
Yeah. And
anyway,
It's after 2 o'clock in Toronto too. I'll get
Yeah.
back to work.
All right.
Right,
You guys have a
Darren.
good one. I love you guys. Thanks for joining me.
Well
Right.
done. Nice to see you, Bruce.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
good to see you,
Josh, on
Darren.
our live stream.
take care, Josh.
And also,
God
I'm about to get up to 32,000 subscribers. Yay.
Woohoo! Keep going.
Well,
Yeah. All right.
all right.
Take care.
Bye
All
bye.
right. Take care. Bye bye.
You want to hang out? Okay. Well, everybody, whoever was here in the chat, thanks. I appreciate it. Take care of yourself, and we'll do this again. Duels out.